Hello. Welcome to the man cave. There's Greenie, supervising as usual. And he doesn't want to get off the phone. Yes, alright. Anyway, today's little tip is when you're using a transformer like this that will take in multiple voltages, you need to make sure that those are clearly labeled. If they aren't, then you have to run a test. Now, one of the things you can do is you can use a multimeter and check the resistance, and that will at least give you an idea. Oh dear. That will at least give you an idea of what's going to take the higher and lower voltages. But the best way, I find, is to use a lower voltage AC transformer. Now, I happen to live in Europe. I'm not from Europe, but I just happen to live here. And here we use 220 volts AC from your house current. In the States, however, it's 110 volts and at a slightly different frequency. So when I build things, and I'm working on a little Compactron guitar amp here, when I build things for myself or for my son, I like to make sure it's compatible in both places. And most old transformers, I get a lot of them from old radios here that aren't working, but the transformers are great, and they're easy to find around here for cheap. But the trouble is, as you can see, it's pretty much just black and brown over here. The light isn't very good, sorry about that, but I mean, there's not much to see. There is a number, and I looked up the number, but I didn't get any relief there. So what I'm doing, the easiest thing to do is use a lower voltage transformer. Now this one I'm lucky enough to have. It actually is it's a kind of a double pole 12 volt transformer. What it really means is in the middle pole there is your neutral, and the two blue ones on the other side, those will give you 12 volts AC each. So effectively, this transformer gives me either 12 volts or 24 volts approximately. And that's perfect in this case, because what I can do is I can test the ingoing leads, and I can see, you know, I can check my output and make sure that it's the same, or at least darn close. So I've hooked up my voltmeter to the output side of this transformer, well, the secondary coil, I should say. That would normally provide the high voltage that we want for our tube circuit. And on the other side, I'm connecting, I'll start, let's say, with the 12 volts. So I can put those around, and I can hook them up to the leads here. Be careful, test them beforehand. Don't hook them up to anything that's really low resistance, because that means it's a tiny, tiny coil or a short. So I'll turn on my power. And now going through here, I've got about 33 volts. 33 volts AC. Now, of course, normally if I hooked this directly to the house current, that would be 330 volts. But this is a much safer and easier way to test these things. So, and it's not going to be exact. I mean, there's tons of math and variables involved, but you really don't need that. This is the easiest way to do it, a low voltage transformer. And of course, make sure where your high voltage stuff is, that it's properly connected and that it's fused. Okay, so anyway, as you can see, we're getting about 33 volts. So now I can turn off my power. I can switch the leads, and in this case, now I'll switch it so it's going through the whole secondary coil, which means it should output about 24 volts or so. It really doesn't matter as long as it's double what it would be if you just used half the coil. And then I'm going to switch these. Let's say from, if I can remember the right one, it's going to be here. So now I have half the voltage coming out of here, but I'm using a different part of the primary coil here. And if I've done it right, if I found the right coil, I should have about the same voltage. And I do. I've got exactly the same voltage. So that means that these two, which I've marked C and B, that's going to take your 110 volts, and that the other two on the left side, which I've labeled A and C, no, actually it's the other way around. I've got double the voltage coming through, so that way these 2 points, C and B, that would be for your European house current, and then the two on the left, in this case A and C, no pun intended, would be for your American style 110 volts house current. So that's a really simple, easy way that many people know about, but some of you don't know about. So if you want to test your old transformers, this is the way to do it. It has other applications. Always use a low voltage output transformer with a small coil, so even if you do something really stupid, it's not going to fry you or something. That's the whole point of this. So this is Christian in the Man Cave. Hope it's been an exciting day. Bye-bye.